Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Two Hearts Urban Homestead. Today, I'm coming to you to talk about peat pots a little bit. So, I feel like I haven't had the best results with peat pots, and I just really don't know how to feel about them. So, I'm just coming to share how I feel, and if anybody has any comments or any tips, please feel free to leave them in the comments. But I'm going to put on a pair of gloves, and then we're going to take a look at this cucumber and the roots. So I think it's almost time for some new gloves. They're getting a little worn here, but hey, they're still going to do the job for today. So initially, when I first started gardening a few years ago, peat pots were the thing that were primarily advertised in big box stores. And I think a lot of people start gardening from the big box stores. So that's what we see, that's what we use. So I didn't feel that my plants were very successful like my first year or two. So that's when I did switch to more like plastic container pots. Just these reusable ones that you can either get online or that you can get extra from like the nursery. So found that results were like really better with those. So essentially with the peat pots, you're supposed to be able to put this in the ground just like this and plant it. You're supposed to make sure that you cover it up with soil so the soil goes above the line of the pot so the moisture can help break it down. But I feel like these don't break down in a significant amount of time to allow for root growth. So I'm going to take this apart and just kind of show you. So this was planted, it says 418 on here, but I did have to restart these a few times. My seeds just weren't growing. So I'm going to say I planted this closer to the beginning of May. So just so you're aware, this date probably isn't as accurate as I would like it to be. And then also my goal was to plant out after Mother's Day, but before Memorial Day, but the weather was not cooperating with us. We had a lot of rain, and then we got cold again, and then we had more rain, and then we had really high temperatures, and then we dipped back down. It was just kind of all over the place with the fluctuation. So these did not get planted out when I wanted them to plant them out. And they've kind of been the same size as well. Like they haven't really gotten any bigger. And I have fertilized as well. So I do use a 511 fish emulsion. And again, that doesn't seem like that is doing the trick as well. So let's go ahead and open this up. It is very moist. I don't know if you can tell, but it is very moist. These you have to keep moist because they will wick the moisture out of your growing medium here, which you can see is very moist as well. So let's go ahead and open this up. So as I'm peeling it away, I don't see any roots kind of like burrowing into the pot at all. So there's no roots on any of this. So I'm not pulling any roots off of the plant. They're all still very connected to the soil and inside. And I'll show you as I'm pulling it away that I'm not pulling any roots. So essentially the roots should start growing through this pot. And since cucumbers and squash and everything do grow very fast, I would assume by this point. Now once I get to the bottom here, it does appear like they're starting to grow, but they're not actually coming through the pot. They're more so wrapping around in the inside as though like how they would do in a traditional pot. So the roots aren't growing through the pot. They're more so starting to swirl around inside of the container here, the peat pot. Forgot what it was for a second. So that just makes me wonder how long this actually has to be in the ground to start disintegrating to actually let these roots free. So I'm going to say that anyone growing in these, I would be very careful about planting this entire peat pot in the ground. I don't feel like it's going to break down in enough time for your plants to successfully grow. So if you do use them, my advice is to definitely, for sure, take them out of the peat pot before you do start growing in ground. So that's all I'm really coming to tell you about this. I'm going to go ahead and get this planted in ground today, and hopefully a little bit later on in this video, since the sun is out and it's nice and warm right now, we'll do a mini garden tour. There's a couple of things within the garden that are starting to bolt, even though the temperatures have not really been very hot here. The temperatures have definitely fluctuated up and down between pretty cold and then kind of a nice warm 60s 70s day. So nights also have been getting into the high 30s, mid 40s, somewhere along there as well. So again, temperatures have been fluctuating, and some of our spring crops are definitely starting to bolt, especially our kohlrabi and some of our turnip greens. So definitely stay tuned, and we will be doing a little mini garden harvest. But again, make sure you take your plants out of the peat pots. So if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.